They told you that it was an emergency, that things just turned quickly, that they got the baby out just in time with everything. But now you're sitting here with a diagnosis like HIE and maybe even the early signs of a potential CP diagnosis. And something in you keeps asking, if this really was an emergency, why did it feel like things had been going wrong for a while? I hear this question all the time from families, and I want to talk with you today about this from the perspective of a birth injury lawyer who looks at these types of timelines all the time. Because sometimes what gets called an emergency C-section wasn't actually all of a sudden. In fact, it may have followed hours of warning signs that were just building up and building up and building up over time. Now, to be fair, not every HIE injury is going to be the result of a mistake. Sometimes everything is done right and complications can still happen. But other times the records will tell an entirely different story. So let's say you were having a trial of labor after a cesarean or a TOLAC, and in these cases, the uterus is under a lot more pressure. If the team keeps giving Pitocin and contractions are coming too fast, that can be a red flag with things. Or maybe labor was stalling and the baby wasn't descending, or the heart strip started showing signs of distress and no one acted right away with everything. All of this can build up. And by the time the baby starts crashing, yes, it can then feel like an emergency. But the real problem isn't what happened in those final minutes. It's what didn't happen earlier with the medical team. When we review these cases, we're not just looking at how long it took to get to the operating room. We're asking, when should the decision have been made to move to the C-section? Were the signs an hour earlier, and were they dismissed? Were they 2 hours? Were they 3 hours or more? Was all of this just building up? This is hard stuff to think about, and for some mothers, even asking these questions can feel heavy. There's fear of going up against the hospital, there's fear of being blamed, there's fear of what you actually may find out if you look too hard. But here's the truth with everything. Wanting answers doesn't mean that you're accusing anyone. It means that you're trying to understand how your baby got here and whether something could have been done to protect him. That's what these reviews are about. Looking back in time, looking at the timeline, finding out whether your child's injury was avoidable, and doing it in a way that respects both the medicine and your story. Again, I'm Marcus Boston, and if you have any other questions about your baby's HIE brain injury at birth or potential subsequent CP diagnosis, all of these types of questions from a medical legal standpoint, don't hesitate to reach out and contact me. You can find out more information about me in my profile. My information is there. Or you can, if you're watching this video on certain types of apps, you can send me a DM and we can chat a little bit about your baby story and what's going on. Or you can just wait and watch the picture that follows the end of this video. All right, that's going to be it for this evening's short educational video. Have a great evening, everybody.